Welcome.
Episode 32.
That is correct. You didn't say 29
No,
this time.
Yes.
He's doing good, folks. We got him on track again. He was a little bit wishy-washy there. Didn't even show up on time once. And
Oh, I was on time.
said nobody ever. Okay, anyway. Getting past that point. Okay, so today we're going to talk about why Traxxas stopped selling Traxxas ends. Big one. Nobody knows why.
Boo Traxxas.
Yeah, kind of, sort of. But we're going to give you the explanation on why. We're also going to talk about wiring, the do's and don'ts. And I didn't even say doo-doo this time. So yeah, that's a bonus. So let's just get right into episode 32.
Doo-doo. I got it.
So let's just talk about clean wiring.
I noticed you had some really clean wiring here, Aaron. But I have one question.
What?
Where is your sensor wire?
I haven't put it on yet.
Oh.
Yeah.
So where are you going to route it?
Oh, it's easy. So with Tekin, they have these new flat wires. Associated also sells the same sort of sensor wire. But the best part is they're flat, and you can lay them right down this channel right in the middle, and then lay it over the cap and kind of put it as a cap protector.
To hold it down.
And I also put a piece of double-sided tape on the cap.
So what have you done to tidy up the wiring on here?
Yeah, so one trick I learned quite a while ago was to use a piece of heat shrink. You can see there's a piece of heat shrink here holding the wire. And the nice part is if you use regular heat shrink without glue in it, you can actually move these wires. Move them and move them around inside the heat shrink, and then just use a dab of shoe goo to lock the heat shrink down on the chassis, on the servo, wherever you need. Because some people actually do cut these leads shorter and put a new connector on there. The only issue with that is,
if you ever need to use it in anything else, you're almost screwed.
Yeah, exactly. It's only like a one-purpose item. And if you're going to use that chassis for a long time, awesome. But if you're like us that change brands or like to try different things, it kind of sucks because you always want to reuse that speed control. Maybe I want to reuse that servo. Maybe I want to reuse that speed control. You know,
everything gets reused.
Yeah, it's not just one car and that's it. So that's one thing about doing this method of just using the heat shrink and wrapping the wires up loosely. Loosely is the big one on that. Don't grab them
don't melt your heat shrink all the way so the wire can't move or anything.
Yeah, exactly. You want that wire to be free flowing so it has some place to move and you're not pinching the wire. You don't ever want to fold the wire over hard and solid because you can actually break and fray the wire inside that servo lead or ESC lead or whatever. So that's kind of a big one with that as well.
And you've got your battery lengths at 2 different lengths?
Yeah, so with that, what we'd like to do all the time is make it so you cannot plug your battery in backwards if you are going to use bullets.
So no battery connectors, just bullets on this.
Yeah. So the nice thing is you can't plug the negative lead into the positive just because of how short the negative lead is. So you kind of know right away when you're like, why doesn't this fit? Well, it's because it's not the right hole. Right? It's not the right connector.
Now, do you ever run into any issues with the 2 wires being different lengths?
Nope.
No heat or anything like that?
No, not enough. Like the biggest thing is
it's not that big of a length.
Yeah,
it's gonna matter that much.
On this one, you know, we're not even an inch in difference.
So you're still
Plus,
safe.
we do use a good quality 12 gauge or smaller wire.
And everything.
Yeah, like we do use the Tekin wire, but normally for these setups, they're so far away that they don't give you enough wire.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I found on these 2-wheel drives, especially if you want to take the battery out.
Yeah, I noticed that. So you just have to pull your wires up just a little bit to get the battery.
So when you pull the thumb screws out, you have to pull this plate off, and then the wires have to move a little bit to get the battery out. So the biggest thing is give yourself a little bit extra room. These cars are a little bit easier, the Associateds versus the Locies. The Locies actually have a fold-up tab.
Oh, yeah.
So you almost kind of forces yourself to only use the battery in the car and just leave it in the car. And another reason why there's a little bit extra wire is because this plate has some holes where you can move the battery forward or backwards. So you want to make sure you give yourself enough wire to do that.
Better weight distribution, right?
Yeah, exactly. You can play with forward steering or rear traction, depending on if you have it backwards or forwards. And another thing that we always like to do as well is always solder the ESC first outside the car and then put it in. And then run your wires so you can kind of figure out the exact lengths that you need.
Trying to solder in the car, dripping solder everywhere, sometimes isn't fun.
No, and you can also now have issues of having a cold solder joint because you physically can't inspect the posts. So that's the big thing with the Tekin stuff. They kind of have a little bit of a different post setup, and And I honestly thought it was really stupid to begin
It's
with.
definitely strange.
Because it actually is a post that has a cutout in it. So it has like a notch. It's kind of nice. You can trim your wire and actually, like clamp it down and pinch it and put it in so you can have it vertically or laying down. So we did this one laying down just because it is a little bit easier, and the body on it.
Yeah, it keeps everything streamlined, right?
Yeah, and the body on this also is very, very hard to put things on and underneath of it. So you kind of got to be mindful of that as well. So this is a customer's B6. So we do offer this service through the store. So if you want to get a quote on what your car is going to be to clean the wiring up, just come down, shoot us a Facebook message with some pictures, just so we can kind of get an idea what we're working with. If you just say, hey, what's it going to cost to do my B6 up? Like, what are we dealing with? We got to know a little more information on that. But yeah, that's a couple tips on keeping your wiring clean on your buggy or short course truck or whatever. So that's that.
Fancy.
Yeah, it was fun. It's always fun. I'm way too anal. That's my problem. Everything has to be done to a certain point. It took me a couple hours because it's like you look at it and you're like, ooh, I don't know if I like that enough versus this way, right? That's my problem. But yeah, getting right into it. Next thing on the list here is why Traxxas doesn't sell regular old Traxxas connectors anymore. Womp womp. So this is a question that we get lots at the store. Like, hey, can you change my battery lead over? Because the batteries you carry in the store don't have Traxxas connectors.
It's always, let me see if we got another one in stock.
Yeah, see if we have any left that we cut off.
Left, yeah.
So the biggest thing is why Traxxas took their battery connector off the market is because of ID. And the ID is an identification that a lot of people don't realize what is actually happening with this identification.
It's not just an integrated plug anymore with the balance ports. There's actually like a little microchip in there that tells the charger exactly what kind of battery, what mAh, what size, everything.
Yeah. So if you have the new live charger like we have here, so the Bluetooth linkable one, you get a little bit more information on what's going on. So I don't know if Chuck can zoom in on this and get a little bit more information on what's going on here. But for example, when you plug in your charger, you're going to get what you always get. If you want to balance and then LiPo, it automatically knows what it is. So right now we'll just put it in storage and hit that start button. And then you get all this information on the screen now of your cell phone. So I'll turn the brightness up so everyone can see.
No more screen on Traxxas stuff. All goes through your phone, gives you all your information.
Yeah, but the biggest thing is it'll tell you all your information on cell voltages. But if you scroll up to the battery info, it's actually going to tell you it's 5,000 milliamp, it's a 3-cell, and it goes all the way down to telling you the part number of the battery. So this battery is part number 2872X.
So if you ever notice your Traxxas battery is getting a little weak, getting a little worn out, you can just look on your app, find out what battery you need, call us, and we'll order one in for you.
Yeah, or if we don't have it in stock. So that's the biggest thing. It's telling you a lot more information now on what is going on with the battery, and that's all to do with the microchip built inside the plug itself.
Just smarter charging for safety.
Yeah.
For anyone that wants to use it, right?
It's really a big thing, and we always get people, well, people just don't know how to charge, that's why they use Traxxas chargers. Honestly, the biggest thing is it's safe and it's easy.
It's simple.
Yeah. And for beginners, they don't want to do all the different stuff with doing setups and things like that. Because I know, like when we had that ProTech, when we did that 610 AC/DC, the quad, everyone's like, okay, that's a lot of information, but that doesn't apply to me because I have a Traxxas charger. Exactly. So why not just continue to use the Traxxas charger that does everything for me? All I got to do is if I want to do a storage charge, if I want to do a balance charge. So that's the biggest thing with information about these chargers. And that's honestly the only reason Traxxas went away from selling their ends separately.
Just to make stuff easier for everyone else.
Yep, exactly. Well, it made everything easier for the consumer.
But
for the hobby shop guys, it's still kind of a little bit of a battle.
Still searching for those little ends in every little corner.
Yeah, exactly. But that is the honest reason why Traxxas has stopped selling those ends.
Yeah. So keep them if you have them, or bring them down to us. We love them.
Yeah. Yeah, so when you're in this app, it'll tell you the charge info. So each individual cells, the voltage, and the current charge rate. But when we go back here, back to home, what we're gonna see, if I can figure out how to do this upside down, which I can't, because I'm goofy. Yeah, if we go back here, it's gonna tell us all the information. but then when you scroll up, it'll actually tell you the battery information. So ID, chemistry is a LiPo, we're balance charging, the capacity is a 5,000 milliamp, cell count is 3 cell, 25C, but again, that number for the actual part listing is in there, so the part number is there on the bottom, and that's what that microchip's actually going to do within the app. So it's kind of cool. This is the Bluetooth live charger, and there's now a dual live as well, but this charger will do up to 12 amps and do a 4-cell battery.
Fancy.
Yeah, so the new XMAX or UDR batteries. So one quick thing we wanted to put in is a big thank you to Sarkar.
Yes.
So the Saskatoon Carpet Club that does on-road racing. They just dropped this off for us, thanking us for the sponsorship we did for the last year's Sarkar Wix event, which is the Western Canadian Indoor Championship Series.
Sounds right.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, their event this year is going to be a little bit different date. Usually it's September, but now it's actually going to be October 19th to 21st
Where?
in Market Mall.
Market Mall.
Market Mall. So this is free for any person that just wants to go spectate and see what it's about. Next week on the show, we're actually going to have somebody come down and talk about the full actual event, the classes they run, and some more information about that. But if you would like to know anything more about this club before next week, we'll put a link below. But the website is www.sarcarclub.com. So sarcarclub.com. So I'll have some more information, and I'll put that in the link below if you want to get more information about on-road racing on carpet here in Saskatoon.
Exciting.
But yeah, that I think that's it for us.
Yeah.
That's end of episode 32. So thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Share with all your friends on Facebook. Don't forget to follow us on Snapchat, Ultra RC Hobbies. Don't forget to like us on Instagram and follow us on Instagram as well, Ultra RC Hobbies. Don't forget to check out our website, www.ultrarchobbies.com. And is there anything else? Or actually, it's .ca.
Is it .ca?
It's .ca.
Canadian.
We might have to cut that out and go back. Is it bad that I don't even remember what our website is? It is .com, so I was correct, actually.
It is .com.
It is .com.
.com. Not .ca.
Don't mind me.
Go
So we'll
Daddy.
just cut this out.
Go Daddy.
Yeah, it's .com. Okay, so that was actually correct. So we'll just wait here a second. So thank you again for tuning in. For Chris,
Yes.
Aaron, we're out.